I had this beautiful conversation with my friend yesterday, and we were talking about how in relationships, sometimes we don't learn the lesson of that particular relationship until it's ended and we've had time to reflect. And sometimes it's painful, but it's also beautiful. And he was reminding me that it's just the adventure of life that we're experiencing. So I read this little poem I wanted to share with you as I was thinking about that this morning. Is my favorite teachers have reflected back to me my own darkness. They showed me the ways I'm self-centered, selfish, and heartless, and they showed me the sides of myself that takes action from a place of greed, and they showed me how I use others to fill a void inside myself that sits in need. They showed me that I'm addicted to movement. They reflected back to me some ancient wounds, and I will always be thankful. And I'll remember next time that they are just me. I'll remember to not let my emotions shackle me at my feet. And next time I meet my shadow, I'll remember that my light can never be dimmed. And I'll remember that I could never break, I only bend. Because I love all my teachers. And I'll share my favorite lesson. The belief in the body is the thought that keeps you restless. You're a spiritual lover. You're the ocean playing the role of a tiny drop. And I'm wondering now if you want to free yourself or not, because like our metabolism, these lessons and teachers recycle themselves. And would you keep on repeating these cycles, even if it brought your nervous system right to hell? Rigidity and tension, you can let all that go, and you could remember you did the best that you could, and now you know. So anyway, I was just reflecting on that. Lessons and miracles and reflections. And I like reading the book A Course in Miracles because if you never heard of it before, it's my favorite book in the whole wide world. I'm so happy that it found its way to me. But it talks about how we divorce from ourselves and in relationships with others in particular, but mainly with ourselves, because if we don't have a relationship with ourselves and the higher creator, then we get into our ego, into relationships with other people. And so it becomes me versus you, and we start projecting because we forget that people are just reflections of ourselves. It's like dementia. I think the book is written on dementia because dementia is a forgetting of the self. It's a loss of the self. And we divorce from ourselves, maybe before we divorce from other people in those relationships, in those tough relationships where you can't figure out what's going on and you just want to blame that other person. We always have 50%, even if it feels like they did something. It's always 50%, you know? So I think it's beautiful to always remember that we're spiritual creatures and connected to like a greater mind. We all have, like Carl Jung talks about the collective unconscious. And it's the thing that connects all of us. And so every time they say like you can't forgive someone, it's like you can't forgive a part of yourself, you know? And when you can't forgive someone, you're only, the book is on, A Course in Miracles is about Foundation for Inner Peace, is about forgiveness, the main theme of the book. So it says like when you can't forgive, like there's a side of yourself within that person, within that teacher, and that reflection. There's a side of you that you see, that you don't like, that you reject, that you want to push away. And like I said, my greatest teachers have taught me how selfish I am and how I do things from a place of greed instead of a place of generosity and giving. And it's beautiful, that darkness, it's so beautiful because they say that's the reason that we come here, to experience both the light and the darkness. And it's like if you always believe that, you don't have that darkness in you, you don't have this greed or lust or, whatever else, it's like, then it's like you don't believe that you're even human, because like to be human, we have our flaws, and we would have never come down here if we wouldn't have these flaws. And these imbalances, because we would have just stayed up in a higher octave, and we would have never regressed to this slow, dense realm. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but they said that there's many dimensions beyond this 3D one. This is only the 3D. They said that there's like at least 11 that we can like mathematically figure out. And it just like, when you think of even proprioception, like when you close your eyes and you have the ability to sense where you are in space, proprioception in itself, which comes from the cerebellum mainly, we lose this as we age. We lose the ability, and talking about dementia and stuff, we lose our memory, we lose the ability to balance our hormone structure, our sleep gets compromised. And also, like, I say all of this with the thought in the back of my mind that, like, it just because we grow older doesn't mean we have to experience all of these things. Like, I think that we can live much longer than what we've thought we are allowed to. And I don't think we have to experience these aches and pains. I just think our minds are so beautiful, and our bodies are so capable and so strong. So I say all that just to look at the greater trend of what it's like to go from a baby to being elderly. There is this loss of fluidity as a baby, so flexible, so loving, so joyous, in that brainwave state of curiosity and imagination. And then we grow older and we grow into tension and rigidity, and people age differently. I think that's the most beautiful thing, is to see how the mindset, I talk to a lot of older people and they always say it's the mindset. When you get older, you realize that this body it can be so limiting, but it's the mind that allows you to stay independent and stay autonomous as you get older. So anyway, there's just a few thoughts I wanted to share, but I love you so much. I hope this video is helpful for you in some way. Don't run away from your darkness. Like I said in the video the other day, take your cerebellum, use your hand, your writing coordination, write out these shadows that you can see in yourself. When I've been in my worst relationships, what have these relationships brought out within me? What did this person show me that I did not like in myself? Write it down. Use your cerebellum. You're a creator and you can write things down. So, bring it out of your mind, bring the darkness into the light. Once you put it down on paper, it cannot run. It can only run so far. And then you write at the end of it, okay, I am greedy, I am selfish, I take more, than I give. And then what? And then who do I want to become? I want to give more. I am generous. I am patient. I am calm. I know that I'm supposed to be here at the right time. Biochemistry, your blood sugar depends on this knowing that we're always in the right place at the right time. The Creator was so intelligent. The Creator did not make mistakes when it made the cell and all of those things within the cell, all those little organelles, all the DNA, all the mitochondria, all of the lysosomes, everything in the cell, in perfect timing. If we had to think about all these processes in the cell constantly, we would be so exhausted. But there is a deeper intelligence that is always taking care of us and always guiding us and protecting us and loving us. So I think that's so beautiful. So anyway, I'm gonna go. I love you so much. As I'm about to say goodbye, I just want to talk about it. There's this man who lives in my neighborhood who just walked by on the sidewalk, and him and his dad always walk in the neighborhood, and he's blind, so he walks with a cane and a stick. And it just, whenever I see him, it reminds me to relax the muscles in my eyes and to be thankful that I can see all the colors in the world, and that if I want to go for a run or go wherever, hop in the car and drive somewhere, I'm so free to do that, and not everybody is in this world. And something my friend said to me on the phone was, people would give anything to be able to come back to the earth and experience like youth. If you ask an 80-year-old, like, they would give anything to have their youth back, and to be able to feel and see and sense. It's such a beautiful thing. Life is so beautiful. So anyway, I'm going to leave this here, but I love you so much, and I'll catch you next time.